Hello. Welcome. Let's dive into today's tale. When Obinna got posted to a remote village for his National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, he thought he'd spend the year teaching uninterested students, eating roadside akra, and dreaming about living. What he didn't expect was the dangerous combination of his overactive libido, a school full of beautiful women, and a village where everyone had time for gossip. From the moment he stepped into community secondary school, Odioku, the trouble started. Madam Esther, the no-nonsense principal, gave him a suspicious side-eye. "I hope you came here to teach and not to chase women," she warned. The problem? Obinna wasn't sure he could keep his hormones in check. The school had more beautiful women than a Nollywood romance film. Obinna's first real test came in the form of Miss Halima, the economics teacher. She had the kind of figure that made men reconsider their commitment to Christianity. The way she walked into the staff room, swinging her wide hips like a hypnotist pendulum, nearly made Obinna choke on his gala. "Corper, have you settled in?" she asked with a smile, leaning a little too close. Obinna felt heat rise up his neck. "Why yes, Ma," he stammered, gripping his chair for dear life. That evening, as he lay on his tiny mattress in his one-room apartment, the battle between his brain and his lower body continued. "I must focus," he told himself. But how could he, when the entire village seemed determined to test his self-control? The village girls wasted no time in letting Obinna know they had noticed him. Every time he went to buy bread at Mama Ijibu's shop, there was always one fine girl giggling and throwing glances his way. Even worse, some of them were his students. "Corper Obinna, are you married?" one of them, Amoka, asked him boldly after class. He nearly choked on his own saliva. "Married? At my age? No, I'm still single." Amoka smiled like she had just been given a scholarship. "That means I have a chance," she whispered before running off. Obinna knew this posting was going to be a spiritual battle. If temptation had a human form, it was Nkechi, the principal's niece. She was young, curvy, and had a way of saying, "Good morning, sir," that made Obinna forget how to speak English. One day, she accidentally spilled water on her white blouse in the staff room. "Oh no, Corper, help me get tissue," she said, pretending not to notice how her wet blouse was now transparent. Obinna grabbed his chair like it was his salvation. "You should be careful," he said, avoiding her gaze. She pouted. "You don't like me." Obinna knew one thing for sure: if he got involved with the principal's niece, his NYSC would end faster than a NEPA power supply. As if the village girls weren't enough, Obinna soon found himself the target of Madam Kemi, the richest woman in the area. She was in her late 40s but looked like she had been drinking the blood of younger men to stay youthful. One Sunday, she cornered him after church. "Corper Obinna, how are you enjoying our village?" she asked, placing a manicured hand on his shoulder. "It's fine, Ma. I hope you have someone taking care of you," she said, squeezing his arm. "You know, the village can be very lonely." Obinna swallowed hard. If he played this game wrong, he would either end up with an iPhone 14 or on a missing persons poster. With all the distractions, Obinna nearly forgot that NYSC wasn't just about dodging village women. He was broke. His government allowance barely covered food, and his landlord was already giving him side-eye over unpaid rent. "Corper, you better find a side hustle," his fellow corper, Sei, advised. That was how Obinna found himself selling suya at night. At first, it was embarrassing, but when the fine girls started buying from him, he realized he had hit a jackpot. Corper Suya became his new nickname, and soon, he had enough money to upgrade his small room. Just when Obinna thought he had mastered his situation, things got complicated. Miss Halima liked him, Nkechi was still eyeing him, and Madam Kemi was offering him financial security. The problem? His body wanted all three, but his brain knew that was a fast ticket to disaster. Things reached a peak one evening when he accidentally sent "Good night, my love" to the wrong woman. Nkechi, Miss Halima, and Madam Kemi all showed up at his doorstep the next day. "Corper, explain yourself," Miss Halima demanded. Obinna knew only one thing: he had to disappear before he became the first corper to be buried alive for romantic crimes. Obinna decided to focus on his teaching job and avoid temptation. He blocked Nkechi, started wearing oversized clothes to hide his body, and refused to make eye contact with Madam Kemi. But trouble had other plans. One day, Madam Esther, the principal, called him to her office. "Obinna, I've been hearing stories about you," she said. "If I catch you with any girl, you're finished." That was the final warning. Obinna knew that if he wanted to complete his NYSC in one piece, he had to become a monk. After months of dodging women, avoiding drama, and selling suya, Obinna finally completed his service year. On his last day, Miss Halima gave him one final wink. Nkechi refused to say goodbye, and Madam Kemi whispered, "If you ever change your mind, you know where to find me." As he boarded the bus back to Lagos, he sighed in relief. He had survived NYSC without getting married, poisoned, or kidnapped by a sugar mommy. But as his phone beeped with a message from an unknown number saying, "I'll miss you, Corper." He knew his Wahala was far from over. The end. That's the end of our story. Thank you for watching. Tales by Usha. Please like and subscribe.